What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast. Back once again. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got John Abraham, the 15-year vet. Great to have you on, John.
Thanks.
Five-time Pro Bowler. Always great having you on the show. And this is the 2025 AFC South preview. The Texans have won back-to-back championships. They're seeking their third straight. Abe, when you look at this division, how do you see it? Do you see the Texans as the clear favorite, until one of these other teams can get up there?
Well, honestly, if you're looking at how the years are going, the last 2 years, the rookie quarterbacks have been exceeding, and the Titans
Mm-hmm.
actually have a guy called Cam Ward that they just drafted this year. So if we want to throw it in that kind of category of this is what this year is going to be because it was last year, is it going to keep going like that? I don't personally feel like Cam is going to be that guy to really win the division or have the same kind of success because of the defenses of the other teams they had. Washington had great defense. And the Texans always had a great defense since D'Amico Ryans has taken up. So I think it's going to be tougher. The Colts is the only team I'm kind of like, I don't know what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they're kind of confusing. And, yeah, we'll see if Cam Ward, how much impact he has right away. I mean, we just saw it last year with Jaden Daniels, how he overachieved, got the Commanders to the conference championship game. I don't think they're going to have that much immediate success in year one, but I do like Cam Ward, and I think he's a good quarterback to build around in the future. So, yeah, the last time the Jags won the division was in 2022, and then 2017, new head coach Liam Cohen. I like that the Jags have a new regime. I got some questions about a lot of unproven GM, unproven head coach, the whole staff really. And we're looking for Trevor Lawrence to take that next step forward. I don't know about this year. What do you think?
Man, they got too many trades up there. They got Travis Hunter, they got Trevor Lawrence, they got Trayvon Walker, they got all kind of trades. They got Trey. All they like, hey, Trey. I'm like, man, but actually, those guys I just mentioned are going to be the guys that they're the reason they're going to win.
Yep.
They wins, with Trayvon Walker. 2 years back to back having double-digit sacks. Great, even though he was a first pick and he's very like under the radar.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at that. He's being productive. I mean, he's definitely not giving you like what the other guys have given, because they're not winning as much. So you don't really see him as much, but he's being productive and he's being consistent, especially being a Georgia guy. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, it's going to be a point that I can see Cam Ward kind of fall into that kind of regime if they don't do him right.
Yeah.
But time for Trevor he got to take that for himself now. I'm tired of waiting. It's kind of like I'm in Atlanta now. They talk so much about Kyle Pitts, about he's not doing this, and you start watching it, and you kind of like, yeah, he's playing good. We know he's a good player, but when is it going to show up on the field? They already paid him a big contract. He's probably due for another contract in a couple of years, and it's like, when are we going to start patting this guy on the back and saying he's the next, Peyton Manning, or he's the next this guy, or he's the next this guy, and they're giving him guys. I mean, the last 3 years, I mean, they've given him the top picks were good picks.
Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, I agree. And at some point, it does fall on Trevor Lawrence. It's like, you just got to step up. The same with Kyle Pitts. That's a good analogy. And I like Trevor Lawrence a ton coming out of Clemson, coming out of college. And, he was supposed to be really like the next Peyton Manning. That's what he was dubbed as, and he hasn't gotten that yet. So hopefully Travis Hunter, I like the Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr. combo at receiver. Hopefully that helps open up the offense. They also added De'Ami Brown, so hopefully with that, I agree the Colts are a little bit of a mystery. They haven't won the division since 2014, not since Andrew Luck was on the team, and their big thing is finding the franchise quarterback, and is that Anthony Richardson. Does bringing in Daniel Jones help push Richardson to be that guy, or does Richardson continue to get hurt, continue to be inconsistent and struggle? And I think the worst case scenario for Indy is for Daniel Jones to steal that job and be the guy, because we've seen throughout Daniel Jones' career in the NFL, he's just inconsistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, how the NFL now, these players that have been drafted high and they get to switch to other teams, especially the last couple of years, we've seen they've moved on and been better quarterbacks.
Yeah.
This could have been a slap in the face that he needs, and especially having a guy like Anthony Richardson that has all the attributes, but has shown nothing on the field. So, and then, like you said, being hurt, I don't like putting injuries into the fact, but it ain't the fact that he got injured, the fact that he walked off the field because he was tired. Those are things that you don't want to see in your star quarterback. Like, was Cam just playing football to play football because it was an outlet? I've heard some people say, not that I didn't love the game, but, for me, it was more like I was good at it. I mean, physically, everybody says how good he is, but you never really talk about the hunger. And I think when he walked off that field, it just took a lot of energy from everyone who was really wanting to be on his side, all he just hurt, man. He gonna be all right. Y'all stop knocking him because he did. Then when he did that, it was kind of like, okay, does he really got that heart like that? Like, he's getting hurt, but is he getting hurt because we look like we think he's going hard, but maybe he's pulling back a little bit because he think he's doing this, or you never know, like, what a person might think. And I'm not saying that's him at all. I'm just saying that when you do certain things, people start calculating other things that happen in your career from that one situation.
Yeah. And then it becomes a narrative, right? And then it snowballs from there. So yeah, it's a very interesting year, a big year for all these teams, the Titans with Cam Ward and all that. But let's get into this. So the Houston Texans, they've gone 10-7 in back-to-back seasons, won the AFC South both years under DeMeco Ryans and C.J. Stroud. That's the two cornerstones of that franchise. And then the big question to me, they're 2-2 in the playoffs. And that's ahead of schedule, in my opinion, to win a playoff game, C.J. Stroud's first 2 years. Now the question is, can they take that the next step further, get to an AFC championship game, beat a Baltimore Ravens or a Bengals or a Chiefs in the playoffs? And that's the big litmus test for C.J. Stroud and that team.
Well, I think the biggest thing is the sophomore slump is gone. Now we can see the real Stroud. People don't understand, like, coming into college, playing 17 games, then coming in the second year, your body tends to work different. Your mind tends to work different, especially when you're very successful. You think it's automatically you think the NFL is a piece of cake. Then you realize people like Diggs are going to get hurt. Oh, my God. Then you realize, Nico might get hurt. Then you realize, like, so many people get hurt doing playing football, and just handing the ball off or just making that little touch pass you could do the year before is not the same.
Yeah.
So I think definitely Nico Collins is going to have to step up and be a great player this year. I think Mixon and Chubb are really going to have to be the guys. Hopefully I can see Chubb just be the old Chubb. And it's tough, all the injuries, but he's not a guy that we think gets injured because he doesn't play hard. He roughs it out, man. He's a tough guy, and he just had a lot of bad, situation. So I think they're going to be the main guys. The defense is what we really think is going to be the thing, though. I mean, they've had a great defense. DeMeco Ryans does a great job of getting these guys ready to play. He puts them in position to win, and I think that's a big thing that Cam Ward won't have. So when we talk about Tennessee, that's I say the big difference of a young quarterback getting off. I think he's definitely going to, and also. It's just different this year. They have still best corner in the league, probably one of the best corners in the league. I'll put it like that. And they just signed C.J. Gardner. So
that's
another good instinct. So the defense side, Will Anderson has been playing well. He's been playing consistent. I love Daniel Hunter. I don't think he gets enough rep because he should be all pro almost every year. He's getting double digits. When I seen his numbers, I was like, wow, but he gets no talk. And he's doing Hall of Fame stuff right now. So 5 years from now, you'll be like, this guy's a Hall of Fame if he don't retire before.
Yeah, I can't believe the Vikings let him go, and he's been awesome in Houston. And credit to DeMeco Ryans and the GM, Nick Caserio. They've really built that team around C.J. Stroud quickly. And that's why they've been, had the success that they've had. They revamped the offensive line this offseason. They got rid of a bunch of guys, but they also brought in, Trent Brown, Cam Robinson, Laken Tomlinson, Ed Ingram, and drafted Ariante Ursary. So that offensive line is going to be looking a lot better. Hopefully that gives CJ Stroud some more time. You talk about Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon. They also brought in Christian Kirk at wide receiver to go with Nico Collins and John Mechie. It sucks Tank Dell is probably going to miss the entire season. That's going to be something that, yeah.
Young guy, maybe they still Odell Beckham still hanging around, so they might try to go get him for cheap and get him down there in the Texans. I think he'll fit with the mentality that they have. I think he still has that star power because of his name, so he'll definitely get people to look at him from the ball. I'm not saying they're going to get him, but I said if you're looking at how Diggs was, and you kind of look at them, the star power they have. Just having those guys in the locker room will give these guys a different mentality. His heart and his energy will definitely get the other receivers playing better.
Yeah, and they also drafted 2 wide receivers out of Iowa State, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. I like Higgins a lot. They both have good potential, high potential, so we'll see if those young guys can make an impact. Also, you talked about Nick Chubb joining Joe Mixon and Dameon Pierce. I love that 3 running back combo. And then they also drafted Woody Marks. But I think I was mad my Bears didn't draft Nick Chubb, and I think that's an underrated signing for Houston. I know he's had a lot of injuries, a lot of mileage, but a good number 2 back behind Joe Mixon, in case Mixon goes down or something like that, that's not a bad running back room at all.
Yeah, it's good experience, man. Good experience. I think he deserves another opportunity. I'm glad when I picked him up. Soon he can actually you can see whether he's going to be good for the season or not. You can kind of like see him now in the off season, see if you still see that burst and you have time to make the decision whether we're going to keep him or not.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I like this Texans team. We talked about the defense. That's the strength of the team. That's what keeps them in all these games, and I don't see any weakness there. We talked about that. They also drafted a corner and a safety. They brought in some linebackers, E.J. Speed and Nick Newman, I believe is his name. They got some D-line help. So I don't see this team taking any step backwards. I think they're about the same, if not a little bit better. I could see this team winning 10, maybe 11 games and winning the division for a 3rd straight year.
Hey, it's possible. I ain't going to give it to them yet, though, because I don't know. Let's just see. Let's just see if the Colts can do something. I don't think the Jaguars are going to be great this year, but, 4-13, and they do have Travis Hunter, so let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, and no one predicted the Texans to win the playoff games they won. They beat the Chargers last year. They beat the Browns the year before that. They were underdogs in both those games. So, I want to see this team go on a deep playoff run, and we'll see if they can get that done. But they're definitely the favorites, in my opinion. Let's talk about the Colts, who I believe are the 2nd best team. And they're coming off an 8-9 season. They're bringing back the exact same coaching staff. We got to talk about RIP to their owner, Jim Irsay, 65 years old, Super Bowl 41 champion, Colts Ring of Honor. The national media sometimes portrayed him at, a certain type of way or whatever, but you listen to Reggie Wayne and any player that played for Jim Irsay, they got a ton of love for him, and it's a big loss for the Indy organization, but a hell of an owner.
When it comes to people leaving this earth or people, just dying, you have to really, you'll see when they're gone how people really appreciate them. Whether somebody, because, a lot of times you can hear all the media stuff, all this and all that, like you said, but when people that know him come and say how they changed his life, and people don't understand that aspect of football. People don't understand that aspect of life sometimes. They can talk so much bad and they wonder, like, why y'all still like this guy? Why y'all do this? But they don't understand, like, when you're by yourself and you get to talk to somebody one-on-one, when you figure out, like, a lot of times people say, that's not the person I know when they hear about so many stuff. But also everybody, I won't even say demons. Everybody has a vice. Everybody has something that goes wrong. Everybody has intentions of being something that they want to be, but then it turns out differently, because everybody, everybody wants to enjoy being a damn adult. I mean, let's just be real. Like everybody wants to enjoy being an adult. Adult has all kind of concepts of it. You can see people that do a lot worse things than people have done, but they're just not in that eye. People feel like once you get in a certain status, you're supposed to act a certain way. Like you're not supposed to be human. You're not supposed to fall, not supposed to fall victim to things that happens in life. And you can go anywhere in life and just see people doing a lot worse. But he still was able to manage an incredible squad and manage an incredible life. And I'm sure his family and friends are sorely missing him.
Yeah. And his 3 daughters take over as ownership, with the one daughter, what's her name? Carly Ursay Gordon, pretty much running the team. It's 3 daughters of the ownership, but she's the one running the team. We talk about they bring back the same coaching staff with Shane Steichen, Jim Bob Cooter, and Gus Bradley. The big thing we talked about already is Anthony Richardson has played 15 games in 2 NFL seasons. He got the injuries, the inconsistent quarterback play, the checking himself out. So the team goes and brings in Daniel Jones on a 1-year deal. He's got 69 career starts under his belt already. So if for whatever reason, if I don't expect Daniel Jones to start week 1, I know there's been some talk about that. I think it's going to be Anthony Richardson. And I think if you're a Colts fan, that's what you should want. And if something happens where he gets hurt or his play isn't there, then you can bring in a good quarterback with starter experience, and he can hold down the fort until Richardson's ready to come back. But if I'm a Colts fan, I don't want Daniel Jones winning that job. You know what I mean?
Well, 15 games in 2 NFL years is tough. I mean, that's not even a full year yet.
Yeah.
You want to play smart. And this is like, because the attributes that they drafted him for, the attributes that's taking him out of the league, and it doesn't make sense. You know, I listened to some other people talking about it, and they were just like, he's not a great passer, and they knew that when they took him, but they felt like his attributes were enough that we can form in a couple years. In a couple years hasn't came yet because it's only been 15 games, so he don't has a lot of reps, and in his mind, he thinking, I know I always can run because it's always saved me. And you think about it, I think they said he threw less passes since high school than somebody threw last year. So he only threw like 290 some passes. And like, like in college, he didn't throw it like that much. And then like in the league in 2 years, he hadn't had. So I was looking at that. I think, Geno Smith, they said Geno Smith last year threw as many passes as he threw since high school. And I was just like, what? Wow. It was like, and I was like, just last year, he threw as many passes that he's thrown since he was in high school. So you got to put all that into it. The inexperience is really not there. So, I mean, the experience is not there. So I wouldn't say he's a bust right now, but how Geno Smith started, then he waited. It took him 10 years, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying, I think when we stop seeing him being so confident, and I don't mean this in a rude way, I always love confidence, but the confidence got to be verified as in what you're doing. You know, so, and I don't think the confidence he has now is more of like an arrogance, like not like he talks about it a lot, but it's kind of like, I know I'm good, I know I'm this, and we understand that, but you know, we like to see it on paper.
Exactly.
And when you're out of the league, you can talk about how good you could have been, or you can do it now. You know, whether it's staying longer, whether it's doing more things with the team. Actually, it's like getting your offensive line, taking them out, you know, like becoming a true leader to the team, which I don't think we've seen yet. Not saying he's not doing it, because a lot of stuff we don't see, but you want to hear about that. You want to see, like they talk about Cam Ward already now, and I hate to keep bringing him up, but they talk about how, oh, he's a leader already. You can tell this guy's meant to do this. You can tell this, you can tell this. And then you talk about him and you hear a whole different conversation, as in, when is he going to do this? You know, we feeling like Daniel Jones maybe can be the guy this year. That's not what you want to hear about a guy like that.
Yeah, and the clock is ticking. I know it's only been 2 years and 15 starts, but the fans want to see it now. The ownership, the team wants to see it this year. And if not, they're going to start asking questions and maybe consider drafting another quarterback. You know, they have to get it right eventually. And my other concern is we've seen Daniel Jones reminds me to Joe Flacco last year and Gardner Minshew the year before. These solid starters, but not, you know, good backups, but not great starters. and they're just good enough to go 7-10, 8-9, 9-8, but they can't get you into the playoffs. And they can't win you playoff games at this point in their careers, and that would worry me if I'm a Colts fan. You got to see it out of Anthony Richardson. I'm not trusting Daniel Jones. I saw Daniel Jones' career in New York. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess both of us know this, and even though we haven't said it yet, he's gonna have to force the ball to Warren. If you want to get the Oakland tape, just get the Oakland tape out. I'm sorry, get the Vegas tape out. Get the Vegas Raiders tape out. Yeah. See what they tight end. We have an athletic guy, can run the ball, can do anything with the ball. Let's force it in him and Pittman all game. I don't care what the play calling about the run. We ain't caring about that. I know y'all got this. You got this. Okay, Pittman's going to have over 100 catches, and hopefully the tight end have 80 to 90 catches as a rookie. Yeah. Because we know they can do it now. So it's a copycat league. Start copying your cat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Start trying to do. You're trying to find this on. Oh, we got this kind of guy. We got the quarterback that we need to do this. Man, ain't nothing wrong with a dink and dunk, man. Let's dink and dunk and get 5 yards here, keeping the ball on the field, keeping your defense off the field. We don't know if they're going to be good or not this year. So try to stay on the field. Get these 15 and 13-yard plays so you can tire offenses out. You know, things like tire defenses out, I'm saying, while you're on offense. So the best defense is a good offense. The best offense is a great defense. Come on.
Yep. Complementary football, 100%. And that's a great point. You talk about Pittman, you talk about Jonathan Taylor, you know, who I like a lot. And then now you add Tyler Warren, and Tyler Warren is a beast. He is going to be the best thing for Anthony Richardson, in my opinion. Having that safety blanket, that go-to guy, if the pocket breaks down, you got Tyler Warren right there. You know who Tyler Warren reminds me of is Chris Cooley. You remember him? And maybe better than Chris Cooley too.
Oh, Washington guy, right? Washington.
Yeah. So I think he's going to be great. Exactly what the Colts need. They just need to get him the ball a lot, like you said. Feed him, and he's so versatile. You can use him in the running game, the passing game. Hell, he can throw a pass for you if you need. You know what I mean? So
don't make it a secret.
Yeah.
Like I said, when they did like what they did in Vegas, they didn't make it a secret. Like, we're going to our tight end.
Yeah.
Like, shit, he's the guy. Like, y'all can do all this and do all that. Like, you know, like when they played Jordan, they said, let him get his 30 points or let him get this. But, you know, let him get it. Like, but shit, we got to stop this and stop this. We know we can't stop him. So make it that way. Force it down their throat. Like, okay, you see Kelsey. Kelsey's an older type version, but they know it's going to him. They know he's the guy they want to. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Man, burn them legs up, man. Burn them legs up.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, just like Brock Bowers last year. Same trenches on the O-line and D-line. They did draft JT Tuimoloau in the second round, so that's a nice addition to Kwity Paye and Laiatu Latu. The secondary, they had Travarius Ward and Cam Bynum. I'm not a huge fan of the Colts coaching staff, whether that's Shane Steichen or Jim Bob Cooter on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not a huge fan of either of those guys.
Cooter.
If you ask any of my friends, I reference Jim Bob Cooter all the time. It's the funniest name in football.
Cooter.
But we'll see on the Colts. I don't think they win the division, and frankly, I don't think they make the playoffs either, unless Tyler Warren goes absolutely crazy and Anthony Richardson stays healthy and starts 17 games or 15 games at least. I don't see them making the playoffs. I think they go 9-8 at best, and they need to figure it out, whether that's coaching staff upgrade, whether that's quarterback upgrade, I'm not sure, but I don't think they're there yet. And and the Texans, they're not the Texans yet, you know what I mean?
Right.
So Colts fans don't want to hear that, but we'll see on them. Let's go to the Jags. They're coming off a 4-13 season where they fired their GM, Trent Baalke, and their head coach, Doug Peterson. Trevor Lawrence played in just 10 games, and when he did play, his record was terrible at 2-8. So a new era starts in Jacksonville, and you've got a rookie GM, the youngest GM in all of the NFL, 34 years old, James Gladstone. You've got a first-time head coach in Liam Cohen. You've got a 29-year-old first-time offensive coordinator in Grant Udinsky, and then a first-time defensive coordinator in Anthony Campile. John, coaching matters in the NFL, and a complete rookie staff. I've seen this before in Chicago with Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, that group. It does not work. Trevor Lawrence needs to bounce back. I think it doesn't work. I think they're going to struggle. If I was Jacksonville, you know who I would have hired? Jim Harbaugh. But, now you're going all rookies, and I'm not a fan.
Right. I would say Travis Hunter is going to have a great year.
Yeah.
If you're just smart, this has nothing to do with football. This has to do with ethics. This has to do with keeping the stands full. This has to do with I want people to watch my games.
Mm-hmm.
I would still rest with Travis Hunter. I wouldn't necessarily always have him in to catch a ball. Put him in offense to make him happy a little bit, then put him in on defense to make him happy a little bit. But don't always try to make him run the ball or trying to get the ball every time. But sometimes you got to steal reps. Like, okay, you run the go route this time. Okay, now you run the slant. You running this, so everything so you can get in so you can keep him happy. Like, don't just stick him on offense the whole time. Like you're doing this. Look, we're going to stick you on defense the whole game. But we're going to put you on offense certain plays right now. We want to get used to it. So still, like I said, that's what you say. You steal reps. You just steal the reps. It's a running play. It's an ETN. But okay, I'm still going to put him in there, let him run like a little thing and block a little bit, then come off the field for a little bit and throw him back in there. But like steal the reps so you can keep him happy. And also, then further in the year, he gets more comfortable knowing that, okay, I know the offense now. I know the defense now. Do I want to go both sides? Or do I just want to play one side? Am I a better receiver or am I a better corner? He might get burned a couple of times as corner, and he might take that the wrong way. Like, shit, let me just take the receiver. Or he might have a great time on defense and like, I like playing receiver, but I think, so-and-so might be a better fit right now because I'm not doing it well. So give him the opportunities early in the season. Give him the opportunities to mess up. Give him the opportunities to make plays, but see which one he's going to be like excel on. I think that's going to really take their team in the direction they are. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is the guy that's going to literally take them to the promised land. I think he's going to be all the rest of the guys. I think he's going to have a pad on him that everybody else got to play better so he can play better.
Yeah. Yeah, and, surrounding him with talent. And that's why I like, Brian Thomas Jr. was an absolute steal last year in the draft. I can't believe he fell as far as he did. Then you trade up for Travis Hunter. They also signed De'Ami Brown, who's coming off a career high. He was, thought of really highly coming out of the draft as well. So I like surrounding Trevor Lawrence with some pass catchers. And I agree with you on Travis Hunter that he's got like wide receiver one hands. And that really intrigues me as a corner, to the ability to like snag one-handed interceptions. And, we've seen some of the plays he made at Colorado. I agree. In year one, don't overwork him. Just sprinkle him in all over the place, and see what he likes and see how he adapts to the next level. I agree with that a lot.
Yeah.
I also like their running backs. Where's that at here? I mean, you got ETN, you've got Tank Bigsby, and they drafted Bashil Tootin in the 4th round, and he's got a lot of potential as well. So they got a 3-headed monster now at running back.
Yeah, I really feel like it's going to be the defense going to run this team, though, and I'm hoping that they can step up. Like I talked about Walker earlier. You see, they got Eric Murray, Jordan Lewis now.
Yeah.
So these guys are going to have to step in, and I don't know these guys. That's the problem. And I'm not saying they're not good players. I'm just saying that we don't know them guys. They don't have no star safety back there, a really star corner we can just always like, oh, this guy's going to be. So that's what I think they're kind of missing. So we're definitely going to have to look for them to like, what is this defense going to do besides Walker right now? And I think that's a big thing for me to be looking at this year, whether the defense is going to step up, because I think the offense is not going to be on the field as much as we think. Definitely going to get plays from Hunter, like we said, but they might be few and not that often if people start zeroing in on getting to the quarterback like that.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I like Hunter a lot at corner, because they kind of need that. They kind of need a number one corner. They bring in Jordan Lewis. You got Tyson Campbell and Jerry and Jones. So yeah, I would be putting Hunter at corner a lot this year. Caleb Ransaw's a good pick, safety, but also Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker on the outside, and then you've got Eric Armstead potentially as a defensive tackle. So they got some pieces, but I don't. This team isn't going to improve drastically, and with a complete rookie staff, that's going to hold them back a little bit, in my opinion, too. I wanted to say 5 to 7 wins. I went back to 4 to 6 wins, and I just think this is going to be a growing process for them. I don't think they win more than 6 games. I really don't.
And they might have an explosive offseason if they just don't care. Like if they don't care about the win and loss this year, I can see them scoring a lot of points. I'm not winning because I don't trust their defense right now. I can see them scoring a lot of points, but I don't think they're going to score the points when they need to. I can see them being down and, running the score up because they have athletes on their team, like you said, with the receiver core. But also you can't see them winning because they can't see them stopping the game. You see them games like 40 to 30 and, the high-scoring games on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator doesn't instill any much confidence, in my opinion. I'm just really down on the staff. If it were up to me, I'm cool with hiring
They're not proving it, so it makes sense for you not to, you can't get all dingled up unless you know a lot about them and you don't know much about them. So what you're saying is just experience is not there. You don't feel comfortable saying that you got all these rookie guys and you got a quarterback that's still playing like a rookie almost, even though he's in his 4th, 5th year in the league, but he still feels like he's playing rookie type football out there. He's not the guy he's not a Peyton Manning type guy that we talked about earlier with someone else. He's not a Peyton Manning kind of guy that he can just endeavor. Everybody thought Sunshine was going to be. They thought he was going to come in the league and just be controlling this and controlling that. And it don't matter who the head coach is. Whoever the head coach is going to keep a job because he's going to be so great and he's going to have the perfect throwing guard. He's going to be running the ball. All the stuff they expected from him is everything we're seeing in flashes. You might have one game that, Trevor Lawrence played so great. And then 5 or 6 games, you hear nothing.
Yeah.
You talk about Jack, and then you would talk about them. Then maybe 4 or 5 games later, you hear something else, but it's never a consistent week. Like, 300 yards here, 5 touchdowns, 300 yards here, 400. That's not what you're getting from Trevor right now.
Yeah, and everyone wants to talk about Liam Cohen, right? Coming in, he had so much success in Tampa Bay last year with Baker Mayfield and those guys, and then his time with Sean McVay and the Rams, but he wasn't even on the Rams Super Bowl winning team. He was at Kentucky or whatever for that year, so I'm just not really. And then when you come in and you're saying Duval, that doesn't really inspire much confidence either.
That was pretty bad.
But yeah, I'm cool with hiring a couple rookies, but I want a veteran in there. And at least they have Tony Baselli, who was the longtime Hall of Famer tackle. He's the veteran voice in there. Hopefully he can overcome it, but the coaching I'm not feeling. Let's finish it off with the Tennessee Titans. They went 3-14 last year and locked up the number 1 overall pick. They fired the GM Rand Carthon, who I'm a big fan of, and I didn't really think that was the fairest situation. I think he's going to get another job as a GM and do succeed with that. But Mike Borgonzi's the new GM. And we'll see if Cam Ward can get it done. You can't really do much worse than Will Levis. You know what I mean?
Will Levis, I feel bad for him, but at the same time, as the confidence you show sometimes will be the confidence that we'll laugh at you about. I think Brian Callahan, his 2nd year, and being able to get Cam Ward is definitely a positive for him because he got a guy that he can kind of grow with. I think people got to understand, like, even with Jacksonville, you have a young quarterback, you have a young coach, and y'all can kind of grow together. Hopefully it works out well. Like I said, I think they're going to, if he followed the suit of the last couple of years with Stroud and Jaden Daniels, but I just don't see them being that good. Playoff team right now, I can't see it because it's the Tennessee Titans. And the Tennessee Titans, for me, is more like a running team, and I don't see them being a running team anymore since they got Cam. Hopefully really can, play well and make some catches and things like that. But I think Cam Ward's going to – I just hope they give Cam Ward the same time that they give in Trevor Lawrence like we talked about. Like, because Cam Ward's first pick, So give him the same amount of years to create a team. Don't after 2 years or 3 years and they're still kind of like borderline okay. Don't
Yeah.
do Don't throw him across the side. Don't give him the same thing they all did Trevor. Give him the big contract again. Let him see if he can make it. Because you're saying he got all the attributes. So if he's not getting it, if he's not doing this, don't say, oh, well, it's da-da-da. Nope, don't put it on him because you ain't putting nothing on Trevor. Y'all saying Trevor deserves a chance. You give him all these tools. Do the same thing with this guy who's the first pick overall. Give him the same opportunity. Give him 4 or 5 years. Give him a new deal. I'm saying do him just like you did Trevor, even though they 4-15, 4 whatever, and he still ain't did it. Keep giving him opportunity because this guy Trevor has gotten opportunities. There's a lot of people looking at like, I don't know if he deserved it. Everybody waiting to see Clemson again, and we in the pros, bro. Like, it's not the same.
Those are great points, and I think they give a little bit more of patience with the number 1 overall pick than Will Levis, who was a second-round pick, and they moved on 2 years. They're like, we're getting a quarterback,
Yeah,
you know.
He should have took an opportunity of being a second-round pick and just, I'm not signing no deals. I ain't doing all that extra. It seems like you used to learn from other, like Baker Mayfield and all the other guys in the beginning of their career. They try to do all these commercials and stuff, and it's kind of like, we want to see a quarterback that's focused on quarterback. Like, we understand we got to do all this mayo and whatever this mayonnaise stuff you do. Like, bro, we don't need to see that right now.
Yeah.
You ain't the star yet. You're going to get all that stuff. After you win a couple games, we know that you're legitimate. Yeah, his mind just was in the I'm a star type thing. And in Tennessee, he's a good looking guy. He probably had people throwing stuff left and right at him, so he probably knew how to act.
It's always funny seeing these rookies who haven't accomplished anything in the NFL on commercials and stuff, whether it's Johnny Manziel or Brady Quinn or, these different guys. So, but yeah, they bring in Tyler Lockett, who's a nice veteran receiver who's, going to be the quarterback's best friend. I know he's older, but he's going to be where he's supposed to be. He's going to run the routes the right way. Van Jefferson is a nice piece. These guys complement Calvin Ridley. And then you draft 2 receivers, Alec Iomanner and Shamir Dike. And Iomanner, if you remember, he went crazy against Travis Hunter 2 years ago. He caught like 250 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns in the same game against Travis Hunter. So he's got the ability. We'll see if he can get it done.
As in college, who cares?
We talk
NFL stuff, right?
What's that?
It was an NFL show.
Hey, we got to project a little bit.
I thought it was an NFL show. What are we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. That's true. You got to prove it in the NFL. Luxurious.
One thing I do think about Tennessee, sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're good.
I do think Lorenzo Carter has an opportunity to be a good defensive player there because he's no longer in Atlanta. He can scrape everything that happened here and start over in Tennessee. So I'm hoping that he can revive his career now. Looking at their whole D-line, they have nobody. Like, they have no-name guys that really haven't did anything. They drafted a guy, but he can be that guy for that defense. When you're that guy just coming in and you ain't really proved nothing, you have a chance to prove something and get a big deal in Tennessee and be a staple for that defense for the rest of your career. If he can line up and be a great edge, and I think he can. I saw him here, and it just seemed like he never was into football. I'm not saying it in a bad way. It just seemed like when he was playing, he was just playing. It didn't seem like he really was trying to go out there. But now you have the opportunity to jet start your career, get about 4 or 5 sacks early, have 10 for the year. Then you're looking at big, mucho, grande, man. I'm telling you, you got to keep going. This is the perfect opportunity for him start back over and start your career in 5, 6, or 7 and just ball out and then get one big deal for it's over with and ball again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kind of an unproven pass rush. You're talking about you got Lorenzo Carter, you got Arden Key, and you got Olu Oladejo, the rookie. And I like Olu Oladejo. He looks good in that number 7 for a pass rusher. So we'll see if they can get it done. You got Jeffrey Simmons on that D line, but besides him, not a lot.
Right.
So we'll see what they can do there. The Titans, I don't see. it's a slow build. One thing that would help a lot is they spent a lot of money on corner L'Jarius Sneed to be their number one corner, and he only played in 5 games last year with injury. So if they can keep him healthy and keep him on the field, he was so impactful for the Chiefs when he was over there. So they
Yeah,
need L'Jarius Sneed.
he's a proven vet. I mean, it's not a
Yeah.
lot that you know what to expect from him. You know what you're gonna get from him if he's healthy and he can play well. Sometimes coming off injury, it takes a little while for them to get back to where they want to be. But also, you gotta say it's Tennessee. Like you said, the pass rush is not proven yet. So being in that situation, you might get picked on a little more than you usually do. I mean, when I played, I told them one time I only had 5 sacks in a year, and it was like, "Oh, John, you fell off." I said, "No, the corners suck." And then he might have had 13. We went and got Asante Samuel, and we went and got Dante Robinson. And I had 2 corners, so they couldn't throw the ball as quick. And so I told them, I was like, look, y'all can say what y'all want to say. Turn on this film. I'm getting to the quarterback quick as hell. But the ball is coming out so fucking fast. So
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to be telling me it's me, but I'm like, I'm not that bad. But that's what I'm saying. Renzo Carter, being one of the older guys in there, you can form that defense around you if you want to, because you're getting a whole new start. You don't got to worry about being compared to Grady Jarrett. He's the guy. You don't got to worry about Jesse Bates. You don't worry because you're a new guy in there. They don't know nothing about you. All they know is
Yeah.
that you could be good. So you can go out here and just be like, man, I want to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. You can start. You can just chart over, and you can get a great pass rusher. Like when I say you can springboard your career right now, it's a great opportunity for him.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully L'Jarius Sneed can stay healthy. You got Roger McCrary over there. They drafted Kevin Winston in the 3rd round and a good safety talent. So, yeah, it's going to be a process in Tennessee. They're not going to make the playoffs in 2025. I got them the same 4 to 6 win range as Jacksonville. And I think these two teams are going to be battling, trying to avoid last place. We'll see if the Colts can challenge Houston, but I really think the Texans, barring injury, barring something crazy, I think they got this division in the bag. So we'll see.
Yeah, just
But
everybody out there and they continue to play how they played last year. And just get like barring injuries, like I said, barring injuries, you can see that defense getting worse, and you're hoping that Stroud just plays, 90% of what he did last year. That'll be okay.
yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm ready for the season to start now. It sucks we got to wait, but at least we got these division previews. We can start talking ball, getting ready for training camp, preseason. Always great to have you on, John, and we'll do AFC West next in a week or so. So, thanks,
All right, bro.
bro. Good stuff as always. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Appreciate you guys, and have a great week. Peace out.